Few capital cities have been shaped by water as much as Tokyo. Its densely populated suburbs are crisscrossed by rivers and canals. In the 1950s and 60s, these streets of old downtown, low-lying Tokyo were the scene of a terrible disaster. A string of heavy typhoons and severe wet seasons created floods that destroyed large parts of the city. Residents who were kids back then remember floods as a regular part of life.
こんな大きいのとかこんなのがそういう側溝に泳いでますね。それを我々子供の時はそれをキャッチしてで金魚屋さんに持っていくんです。
Over the last few decades, the world's richest and largest megacity has built a new resilience against the forces of nature. A coordinated system of massive structures keeps the metropolis of more than 30 million people safe from floods without anybody really noticing.
災害が起きるという認識はもうないというのが今の住民の皆さんの考えではないかなとそう思っております。
And below the ground, the scale of the engineering is stupendous, beyond anything else in the world. Even the echoes are incredible. I've come to Tokyo to learn how a city of rivers defends itself in a land of flooding rains. This is a geologically challenging place to build a megacity, a flat floodplain of soft alluvial soil, in a monsoonal climate with frequent typhoons, on an active earthquake and volcanic belt. I've joined Toru Sueoka of the Japanese Geotechnical Society for a cruise along the Sumida River, one of 8 running through the city.
東京は今後そういう地球温暖化とか洪水とかそれから地震とか多種類の災害に対して強いストロングな街にしようとみんな考えております。
More than 100 square kilometres of the city basin is below sea level. Rapid industrialisation made it even lower.
1960年代、70年代に地下水を汲み上げたものですから、さらに江東区を中心に60センチとか70センチ地盤が沈下して、ますます洪水の危険が増したのが事実です。
Tokyo has an average annual rainfall of 1,530 millimetres, more than any Australian capital city except Darwin. Sueoka-san believes that rising average temperatures plus the additional heat island effect of the city are changing the patterns of rainfall.
それを主な理由として東京は温帯地方ですけども亜熱帯に近い気候になりつつあって、つまり急に大量の雨が集中的に降るような現象がたくさん起こっています。
Intense localised downpours regularly dump more than 100 millimetres of rain in an hour. The occurrence of these so-called guerrilla rainstorms has increased by around 50% over the last century. At the end of the Sumida River stands a symbol of this greater flood risk.
過去のように出水期という時期に頻繁に起きてたという状況もですね、今だんだんなくなってきてて、ゲリラ豪雨のような形でいかなる時でも発生してしまうということもありますので、それをコントロールするためにもですね、この青水門が機能しているというところです。
This is the junction with the Arakawa River, an artificial waterway constructed more than 80 years ago. The original red sluice gates were built in 1924. As the need to prevent flooding has increased, so has the size of the gates.
荒川の方の計画の水量もですね、当初その放水路を作った時点から2倍程度の放水路の計画流量になっております。
Its purpose is to divert floodwaters away from eastern Tokyo, which has allowed urbanisation to spread across the lowlands and the city to grow.
荒川に発生する洪水を防御することで 東京540万人の方々を守ることができます。
That this long, wide channel was excavated early last century is an extraordinary feat. It takes at least an hour travelling downstream at speed to reach the last bridge before Tokyo Bay.
The rivers of Tokyo must be an amazing thing to see when they're in full flood, because it's only when you're on them that you can truly appreciate how much space and volume they have to fill.
The channel is walled in concrete and lined by levee banks, built 30 times wide as they are high. Like doorways in the levee banks, locks allow us to step several metres down into lower parts of the city. But urbanisation itself creates its own flooding hazards. There's much less ground able to absorb water than in agricultural landscapes. Excess water has to be drained rapidly, but in crowded Tokyo, there's no room to build more discharge channels.
住宅街が密集しているということは、それだけやっぱり用地取得が難しくなりますので、その効果を早く出すためにも地下にこういう施設を作ったと。
Eiichi Osu manages the Metropolitan Outer Area Underground Discharge Channel, or in other words, the largest stormwater drain in the world.
浸水被害を起こす河川水というのをですね、この外郭水路の中に入れ込んで、それをポンプで江戸川に吐くということで、目的としてはその内水被害を抑えるということで設置されている施設ということでございます。
It took 13 years to build at a cost of $3 billion.
It's impressive enough what Tokyo is doing to make room for water above the ground. But it's what's below the ground that'll really take your breath away. Down here is one of the engineering wonders of the world.
This cathedral-like chamber is what it takes to cope with a flood emergency. Its sheer size is testament to the scale of the challenge. 5 stories deep, this surge tank is the length of 2 football fields. Just one of these pillars weighs 500 tons.
ここはですね、トンネルから水がこう来ました時に、一旦ですね、ここで水の勢いを止める施設なんですね。
This giant system is designed so that the tank never fills up and always discharges to the Edo River.
この施設はですね、年間平均しますと、7回ぐらいこの施設に流入してくるんですね。で、昨年はですね、多くてですね、12回ここの施設に水が入ってきたというところです。
This surge tank is the largest in the world, but even this massive structure is just the tail end of a flood control system that stretches another 6.3 kilometres underground.
Bypassing a low-lying basin, it connects 5 watercourses to the main river. When they flood, the overflow from each river drains into a series of 5 giant cylinders, joined by 6 kilometres of tunnels. Tokyo has, in effect, built a new river underground, 50 metres beneath the city, just for floodwater. Powered by turbines modified from jet aircraft engines, these pumps are the heart of the system.
このポンプ1台で50立方メートルを1秒間に出すことができるという施設です。それが4台ありますので、200立方メートルを1秒で排水することができる施設になっています。
We're several kilometres upstream from the pumps and the surge tank. It's been raining steadily, and at the surface, the river is rising. More than 20 stories below is something like a submarine hatch. The scale of what's inside is overwhelming.
Unbelievable.
This is just one of the 5 giant cylinders that funnel floodwaters into the tunnels.
この幅はですね、約30メーターあります。で、高さが70メーターあります。スペースシャトルがそのまますっぽり入る。
in a time of flood, where we're standing would be the bottom of a mighty waterfall. Water spills off the overflowing rivers above into this tunnel to be diverted towards the surge tank on the Edo River.
今日はですね、雨が強くてですね、上流の水位がもう高いんですね。ですので、これからもうちょっと水位が高くなると、ここから水が落ちてきますので、少しの時間で撮影していただければと思いますので、よろしくお願いします。
The silo reduces the impact of crashing water by running the flow around the side in a vortex. The whole system is designed to withstand a once-in-200-year flood event. After 6 years in operation, the artificial river of Tokyo's underworld is proving effective.
ここができる前とできた後っていうことでいけばですね、同じぐらいの雨が降った状態を比べるとですね、浸水被害というのは半減をしているということでございます。
And above ground, the soil excavated from the tunnels and silos has been used to build bigger levee banks along the rivers.
Over the last few decades, the levees that hold back the flooding rivers have been broadened and strengthened to turn them into super levees, like the one I'm standing on now. These enormous dikes have been designed so they won't break apart when the flood comes over the top, if they're waterlogged, or even if they're shaken by an earthquake.
However, the rest of the city's infrastructure, like roads and pipes, is built to a flood design standard that copes with just 50 millimetres of rain an hour.
多くの人がそれでは十分でないと気づいています。なぜならば年間50ミリパー時間以上のオーバーする雨は数百回に及んでおりまして、その設計では十分でないのは分かっています。
For Tokyo, the cost of floodproofing a megacity is astronomical. But the costs of not adapting to changing rainfall are 1,000,000 times greater.